This ketogenic diet's fucking bullshit. I've been on keto for 3 fucking weeks and I haven't lost a single fucking pound. What the fuck? I'm going back to eating carbs and sugar and pounding a fuckmaster 7 hours a day while starving myself. That's what I'm gonna do. Fuck you and your keto bullshit. Wow, I must have been holding that in a while. All right. So, I follow a lot of beginner keto pages and forums, particularly on Facebook. And so I get to see all the newbies' questions and concerns and problems. And one thing that has been popping up, like, I don't know what happened with the fucking Facebook algorithm, but the motherfuckers are just posting, like, half my news feed is, like, posts. Even though, like, I casually glance directly at it from time to time, they just now pop into my timeline quite regularly. And I shit you not, like, 7 out of 10 of them are, I'm not losing weight. And if you go in the comments, there's always, like, 1 or 2 people that are like, just give it time, take your time. And then there's a bunch of motherfuckers that are like, I'm not losing weight either. Fuck, it's been 3 months and I lost 2 pounds. And there is a very, I've gone over this in the past, so if you're not, if you've been following me a long time, you know kind of what I'm talking about. I felt the need to bring this back up to current people who may stumble upon this that are just now apparently, because keto's kind of popularity is exploding a bit and we're seeing a lot more people trying it, a lot more people failing at it, a lot more people not really getting it or understanding it completely. But ketogenic diet is not for weight loss. Here's a shocker. About 70% of my weight loss I was not keto for. Didn't go to the gym either. Didn't count calories after a while either. It was all intermittent fasting and the standard American shithead diet. But the reason, as I've said before in the past, that I shifted to keto was because while I was losing that weight, the more weight I lost, the hungrier I became. And it got to a point where my weight loss stalled on intermittent fasting, and I would be ravenously hungry after my longer fasts, 48 hours, 72 hours, and I would just want to choke a bitch and eat. And then I would overeat, gain back most of what I lost during the fast, if I lost anything at all. And I ended up in this, 10-pound swing, where my weight would go up 10 pounds and drop 8 pounds and up 7 pounds and down. And it was just this roller coaster ride of bullshit. And I set out to fix that problem. What was causing this level of hunger? And over the years, I've learned that there's a lot of factors in that. Of course, when your fat drops, your leptin levels drop, telling your brain that we need to bring more calories in. We need to fucking eat more. And what's your brain want you to eat when you fucking do that? You eat carbs. Of course, carbs raise your insulin, block the leptin signal. So even while you're eating those carbs, you're not getting any fuller. Your metabolism also, if you were losing weight, has dropped significantly over time. When you do this as a carb burner, you lower your metabolism. That's why eat less, move more doesn't work. As soon as you stop eating less and moving more, you get it all back. That's how it works. That's that roller coaster fucking ride. And I wanted to get off of that fucking ride because even as just an intermittent faster on the standard American diet, I was riding that roller coaster. And I fucking, after a while, got tired of it. And that's when a lot of people, when they get tired of shit, they say fuck it and go back to the old ways. And that, wasn't an option for me. I don't like that. I try and fix the problems as I see them, not go back to the old way and start over from scratch again. So I knew intermittent fasting was an important part of my life. There's plenty of other health benefits for it. But I also knew that I was binging when I ate and that eventually I plateaued out. A lot of people think the ketogenic diet is great for weight loss. And if you are obese or morbidly obese, you're going to see a dramatic drop in weight. But if you only got 20 pounds to lose and you start a ketogenic diet, chances are you're going to be like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And shit. You got to understand that this is a diet that brings you back to energy balance. Your hormones will tell you when you're hungry. They will tell you when you are full. And if you ignore those one way or another, it's going to fuck you up. If you ignore that when they're telling you you're hungry, you're going to drop your metabolism. And you will see a stall or a weight gain in some cases as a result. Or if you ignore them when the hormones tell you you're full, you might even gain a few pounds, albeit not as many pounds as you would gain on a low-fat, high-carb diet, because there's nothing telling you to stop on a low-fat, high-carb diet. You will be perpetually hungry. It's a fact. I know, I did it! Who hasn't been on low-fat in their life? 2% milk and shit. And fucking sugary-ass cereal and grain and all of that bullshit. It's not really low-fat because you're turning a lot of that into fat. In fact, most of it, unless you're running fucking 5Ks every day. And still, that creates a whole new problem, the exercise paradigm. Exercise, I've always said, is worthless for weight loss. It is great for other health benefits, for stamina, for regenerating muscle tissue, for overall feeling good. Exercise brings a lot of good feelings and endorphins and that kind of shit into your life. But as far as burning more calories than you take in, it's a shit show. Because if you do not feed the workouts, your metabolism drops. Your hunger goes up. These are your hormones that are trying to maintain energy balance. Our body does not want to gain and does not want to lose weight. There are two things we have done to completely fuck that up. As far as the not wanting to gain weight, we've been eating junk and shit and carbs and sugar and processed foods which are designed. They got fucking guys in lab coats with clipboards and shit going, hey, fuckhead, how can we make this motherfucker never be satisfied? Oh, I got an idea. Let's put salt in the water so that, it seems refreshing. But, of course, that tastes like shit, so we put shit tons of sugar in there to cover that bullshit up. And they'll drink this thinking that they're thirsty, but they'll never not be thirsty. Oh, yes, it's soda. Yay. And shit. Food companies are not dumb. They want you to keep eating their shit. So all of that food is designed for you to never feel full, never feel satisfied, never feel content. You're designed to be pleasured, They're practically sucking you off, hoping that you're like getting that big dopamine hit out of the deal. But when it comes down to it, 2 hours later, you're going to be fucking hungry again. And if you're not eating enough calories or you are over-exercising, that hunger level is going to skyrocket. And you'll eat like a fucking freight train. And that's the cycle a lot of us got into. I know I did. And the more I worked out, the hungrier I got. That's why I learned right away. I'm like, oh, fuck that shit. I'm not going to bust my ass fucking 5 hours a day in the gym and eat less, move more. We've tried that. I've done it. You can lose the weight doing it, but you're not going to keep it unless you keep up that caloric deficit, that level of intensity of exercise. The minute you stop, the weight's coming back. If that was your formula for that weight loss, that's coming back. Now, when I say ketogenic diet is not a weight loss diet, you're going to be like, well, what the fuck am I doing it for? I just want to look fuckable. That's not the reason to do it. It is a health diet. It is an energy balance diet. You are correcting the issue that started this in the fucking first place, and that is your hormones doing their fucking job and keeping your weight stable. And at first, when you do a ketogenic diet, your hormones are going to be like, oh shit, we got way tons of fat here. We're good to go. Let's just fucking burn a lot of this off. Let's not make that motherfucker hungry. It takes 6 weeks to get to this level, by the way, without cheat days. And, you know, let's not eat today. Let's just fucking work with what we have. But after a while, your leptin levels come down, and your body's like, okay, we're starting to get a little low. I'm not comfortable, you know, seeing my fucking abs. We're gonna fucking stop this fucking freight train. So then you will eat more. You won't get full as quick. You will get hungry a little more often during the day. And so that is where the ketogenic diet excels. It also excels as in it is not a high insulin diet for the most part, especially if you're only eating 1 meal a day or 16 and 8 style of eating. You are not going to gain fuck tons of weight when you keep your carbs down. It's just not going to happen. Some can argue the protein and the meat thing drives up insulin, but that's insulin for a different purpose, and it doesn't stay up. It doesn't go, well, it can go up as high, but it doesn't stay there very long. Its sole purpose is to move the amino acids where they need to go. And also, there's some gluconeogenesis, but that's a flat line. It doesn't ramp up when you eat more protein or drop down or anything. You're constantly converting fatty acids and amino acids to glucose via gluconeogenesis, unless your liver's shit. That being said, there's going to come a point on the ketogenic diet, and it's different for everyone. It depends on how much weight you had to lose to begin with. If you had shit tons, you're going to see better results than somebody that only had 20 pounds to lose. The strength of the ketogenic diet is in the not regaining weight and not being hungry all the time. That is what you do a ketogenic diet for. There's other reasons too. There's health, there's better mood stability. If you have any kind of autoimmune issues, you might want to consider doing that just to help get rid of that. I had some bad allergies. Those allergies are gone. It's, you know, it is definitely a health diet for multiple purposes, far beyond looking fuckable. All right? Far beyond looking in the mirror and trying to look like the asshole that you saw on TV that's probably under their normal body weight set point because they pound the fuckmaster 7 times a day. They do long fasts on top of that, and then they maybe count their calories with My Fucking Fitness Pal after that, all to maintain that unnaturally low body fat level. And make no mistake, seeing your abs is not where your body wants to be. It will never want to be there unless you have something genetic going on, or unless you're all roided up, or unless your abs are huge. But in all of those cases, those are rare, and chances are you're not the fucking unicorn that is. Most of us are unhealthy fucks. We got really fat, we ate really unhealthy, and we're now starting to be medicated. We're starting to have to go to fucking hospital. We're starting to have all of these autoimmune issues. We're starting to have a lot of fucking problems, cancer. We're dying, all right? And that is why we need to switch to diet, not so that we can look like what society and the fucking magazines and the fucking television is telling us that we should look like, all right? We're not going to get there. If that is your sole purpose for doing a ketogenic diet, you're going to be disappointed, and you might as well stop now. But if you don't want to be hungry, if you want to be fucking healthy, if you want to get rid of some of these problems that you've been ignoring your whole life while you were eating the standard American diet, the autoimmune problems, the anxiety, you're going to, you know, it's not perfect. You're still going to be on a little bit of a mood thing, but there's other reasons for that. But you're going to be a hell of a lot better than you were on carbs and sugar, as far as anxiety, depression, all of those. If you really want to address depression, I can say now, having gone back and forth between carnivore, that carnivore is definitely the number one diet for mental health. You will be completely mood stable on a carnivore diet with healthy, organic, as good as possible on the carnivore diet. The more shit you get into the meat side, I do find that does tank the mood slightly, but it's livable compared to the way it was when I was on carbs and sugar. Keto's a step up. You know, I still get the little hills, and I just had a dip. But then again, we can talk about that in my alcohol response video, which is coming up. Yes, I know. I read a lot of comments. I got a lot to say on that subject. But I wanted to do this video first. You know, it's a health diet. It's a way of eating that brings us back to the closer to our hunter-gatherer days and the way our body was designed genetically 10,000 years ago, pre-agriculture, to eat. If you eat the way we ate pre-agriculturally, and I do mean that as in, you know, seasonal for most plants, seasonal for most fruits, and if you're in, you know, genetically from a temperate climate, guess what? You're eating mostly fat and protein with a little bit of carbs, and those carbs are only coming in one time of the year usually. We didn't have refrigerators, Walmarts, massive fucking logistic systems to make it so that you could get tropical fruit all fucking year round, so that you could eat all the same vegetables all the fucking time. You know, vegetables, they're only really gonna let you eat them once a year, otherwise they're gonna poison your ass, and that's the way nature designed it. And we've been fucking that up. And the more we fuck that up, the worse our health got. Now obesity is out of control. And I'm looking around, I'm not seeing it get any better, really. You know, we talk a lot of shit on here. We personally have found it, but the government and the mainstream media and all of these other sources are just slow to react to the fact that we're fucking killing our society. We're destroying our healthcare system. We're destroying our finances. We're watching millions of motherfuckers get sick and die before their time from something that's preventable, and we're not doing anything about it. And that is what the ketogenic diet is for. All right. Now, that being said, I do know that the majority of you watching this, if you know, I'd say probably about half of you, are doing it solely for weight loss. You want to lose the weight. And that is where intermittent fasting for me comes into play. That being said, I think if you were to lose the weight in any way that you feel comfortable, that you know that works, as even if you do the fucking stupid eat less, move more shit, if you were to do something like that, or do extended, long, huge fasts, or any of these other methods of using up your body fat, some of which are very miserable and punishing ways of doing it, but can get the job done, and you want to keep the results without continuing to do those things, the ketogenic diet is the perfect tool for that. And I can attest to that after 3 years, that all the weight I lost before I plateaued the first time on the standard American diet with longer fasts, all that weight I lost, I kept that. I didn't go back up to nowhere near those levels. And I fluctuate down on this bottom tier. I'm at 191, and I've been at 191 for like the past month and a half. Even with the carno experiment, I did get a little bit of inch loss around the belly area, but that has since stalled out. I've returned to alternate day fasting, and for the past week I've been doing that. ADF 36, that's 36-hour eating window, sometimes less, and followed by 36 to 44 hours of fat fasting. I'm not doing true water fasts on those days. So it's kind of an alternate day diet style ADF. But I have done fat fast experiments and know that is every bit as effective as water fasts, and except you don't get as much metabolic drop. Your metabolism doesn't ramp down as much. It will over a longer period of time, I think. I have yet to test that. I will at some point. But the weight loss is not going to come. There's going to come a point where the ketogenic diet just doesn't do it for you. And it's going to be shy of that, sometimes far shy of that, you know, washboard ab look that you thought you wanted to achieve. I once thought that way when I first started out. It's going to be short of, you know, looking like one of them Hollywood fucking actors that takes their shirt off. It's going to be far short of Thomas DeLauer taking his shirt off, or any of these fucking people that spend years in the gym sculpting every last fucking muscle underneath their formerly loose skin. They had to build up a whole fuck ton of muscle to fill that shit. And you know, he's all of this time and effort put into looking a certain way, which doesn't necessarily dictate your longevity or health. Whereas the diet should be what drives you. I've been keto now for over 2 years with occasional little vacations. I did cyclical keto for a while. I've tried cheat days. I recently had the cheat day at Carolina Rebellion. By cheat day, it was one meal that was a cheat that fell outside of my ketogenic levels. Didn't set me back at all. Didn't change anything. Then again, there was no sugar involved in that, at least not in like sugary shit, like cookies and shit. I didn't do anything like that because I don't want to re-addict to sugar. And you know, I found that once I got back into my normal ketogenic foods, for the most part, I do eat a lot less veg now than I formerly did. But the mood department hasn't changed much. And the weight is plateaued right now for me. I'm stuck at 192 unless I go do some long fast or so on and so forth. And I know I can do that. But I'm not doing it yet. I'm going to. And I want to give my body time to sit here for a little bit at the set point. And I'm patient. It's a fucking marathon. It's not a sprint. Take your fucking time already. 3 weeks and you're whining. I've been doing it for 2 years and I'm still not to my goal weight, which was originally like 184, 185 in that area. I've touched my foot in there, put my dick in there. It's just, you know, I get there, but then I come back to the 190 range, you know, or the upper 180s I was hovering at for a while. This carnivore experiment, for some reason, did ramp me back up into the low 190s. At 191, 192, peaking at 194. It's about a 4-pound variance that goes up. On the days when I eat a lot, I'm carrying a lot of food weight, obviously, and I haven't shit yet, then, you know, I'm up in the 193, 194 range. After I take my dump, I do an overnight, you know, or I'm at the tail end of my fast, I'm down into 191, 192. And we get so obsessed with the scale and so obsessed with looking good or looking a certain way or looking, you know, that we ignore the health benefits we have reaped. So let me just recap where I'm at health-wise. I have kept off all the weight I lost within a 4 to 8 pound variance, which there's not a lot of diets that accomplish that. I have also improved all of my health markers. All my blood work was spot on. I'm 42 years old, and my health is better now than it was in my 20s when I was 255 pounds. A lot of people would get to where I'm at and be like, all right, I'm here. I'm good. Let's just fucking kick back and enjoy this shit. But we're always driven to go that extra mile because we're always told that we need to look a certain way or that we need to, you know, be more fuckable. That's never been a real goal for me. I just didn't want to be unhealthy anymore. I didn't want to be pre-diabetic. I didn't want high blood pressure, which I was starting to creep up in that department too. And all of that is gone. My health markers are perfect. My blood sugar, whenever I check it, is 80 or below. I've never had a problem with that. I could have a carb day. Oh, and consequently, recently Sean Baker, I'm not going to do a full video on this because I already kind of said this to him. But he put out another video on blood sugar and the carnivore diet and the fact that he's not diabetic. And I still, to this day, invite him to do a glucose tolerance test. That's in, he takes in a carb load and then checks his glucose levels. And if they skyrocket to 200 or 300, he's fucking diabetic. If they don't, he's not. And he can roll with his I'm insulin sensitive to no anything. But getting off of that tangent, the question is, are you still on meds? Are you doing all of these things? Are you fixing these issues? Are you awake and alert? Do you have energy, or do you need a fucking nap 3 times a day? I don't take naps. I am fucking energetic from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. And sometimes that's despite staying up till like 2 or 3 in the morning. I feel better physically. I'm able to do all of the physical activities, kayaking halfway across the lake, hiking 10 miles with a 60 to 70 pound weight on my back. You know, these are all things I probably would have struggled with 4 years ago that are huge, monumental improvements. Mental health has improved dramatically. It's not perfect. I'm still tweaking. But my depression levels are nowhere near where they used to be. My anxiety levels are gone. I got so much shit to worry about right now, and my anxiety level is a nice smooth meh. And these are all quantifiable benefits that you notice only when you don't go back to the cheat days and the roller coaster ride. Because I'm telling you, just as quickly as you reap these benefits, it doesn't take but 2-3 days of fucking being stupid to fuck it up. And that's personal experience talking. I did that. I've had my cheat times. I've had my carb cycling. Carb cycling didn't do shit for these other things. In fact, I still had allergy issues. I broke out in hives. I looked at a cat the wrong way, and the cat raised its asshole at me, and my whole face would go, you know, and I'd fucking, my eyeballs would turn pink and shit. It's, you know, stuff like this that you really have to take stock of as you go forward. And if you can't see your fucking abs, or if you can't take your shirt off comfortably, and most of us can anyway that we're obese because we have some loose, unflattering skin in various places, you know, it shouldn't be about that. It's not about weight loss. It's about health. It's about getting out of the medical system. It's about not dying 10 to 20 years, slow deaths, before you would have otherwise died. There's many levels to going on a ketogenic diet that have absolutely nothing to do with weight loss. And I contend if it is fixed, all of these other health issues, many of which you can probably live with, but you're going to be a miserable prick from having to live with them, then that alone is good enough to stay on the diet. But unfortunately right now it's been popularized to the point where everyone's going on it because they want to lose 30, 40 pounds. They see people, I went on a ketogenic diet, I lost 100 pounds. Of course, that person probably weighed 450 when they started. They're not telling you that. So then you get the little fucking person that only is 30 pounds overweight. They go on, they lose 10 pounds, and they stall out, and they wonder, what the fuck? It's because you aren't the 450-pound motherfucker that had plenty of fat, could produce plenty of leptin, is going to lose a shit ton of weight to start out. And will eventually plateau. And they will probably plateau a lot sooner than the 30-pound motherfucker as terms of getting to your goal. They might get down 100 pounds and then that's it. And then their body's like, whoa. And they have to keep chipping away at that set point. And that is a long, slow process, lowering your set point. It involves long periods of time hovering in a plateau. It involves you letting your body think everything's great for a while before you go and fucking do the 10-day fast or whatever the hell it is you do to drop the body fat level. That's where I've been at. I've plateaued again, and I'm letting myself be plateaued. I have not done, prior to this last week, the whole carnivore diet was eating intuitively, technically about 16 and 8 fast, but I contend that's a normal eating pattern. And, other than that, I haven't changed up much, as far as doing long fasts. That's about to change as the summer goes on. I do plan some 5, maybe even a 10-day fast. But the fast will stop at the low 180s. If I step on a scale and I'm 180 pounds or 184 pounds, I know that it's time to not fast for a while. And then I let my body get comfortable again. And I might gain every fucking last pound back up to my set point. You have a set point. The object of the game is lowering that set point in order to get to that weight that you dream of. But the longer you have been obese, the longer you have been unhealthy, the longer it is going to take to lower your set point. I've gradually lowered mine. It used to be in the 200s. Then it was the upper 190s. Then it was the lower 190s. Then it was the upper 180s. Now it's the upper to 180s. It went up a little. I'm not sure why. There might have been some mistakes I made. Maybe some bad keto foods. Maybe I overate. Maybe I underate. I don't know. There are all kinds of factors that go into that set point. And I do know that fasting is a good way to chip away at it. But you're not going to do it all in one day. It might take years. And I hate to tell you that. A lot of you want that instant gratification. I need to lose this 30 pounds in 6 months. If you lose it in 6 months, chances are you're going to get it back. If you want long term, to where you're not thinking about it anymore, to where you just live, you eat, and you're not worried about gaining or losing weight, then you need to take your time. And you need to let your body settle. Whenever you're at a fucking plateau, we tend to do some extreme bullshit to try and break that plateau. And you'll find that frustrating. I've done it. You're going to get frustrated. Don't. Look at it like, okay, my body's plateauing. I might as well ride the plateau for a little while. And give yourself a couple months at that plateau to where you just do what you're doing and you don't even think about it. You're not trying to keep pushing the needle. You're not trying to get down more. Ride the plateau for a while. Then try again. Do a longer fast if that's how you want to do it, or pound some more fuckmasters. I don't endorse that as a weight loss method. But then go back to keto afterwards. You need to be a fat burner for this stuff to work. If you're on a high-carb diet, hunger is going to get the better of you. And you're not going to ramp up metabolism as effectively if that was the cause of your plateau. If your metabolism dropped, which is what the metabolism's all about. Here's the thing. Your body can slow everything down and burn 500 less calories a day at rest. This is scientifically measured. It could be more. But your metabolism can drop to the point where you burn 500 less calories a day. And that's sitting on your ass. It can also make exercise more efficient. So while MyFitnessPal's telling you you're burning 3,000 fucking calories, you might be burning more like 1,000. If that. And you're going to be ravenous by the end of that if you don't fucking eat that much. Until you eat that much. And your body's patient. It'll keep you hungry for a while. It comes in waves. But you'll keep getting those waves until you give the body what it thinks it needs, which is that 1,000 calorie deficit that you fucking piled on, or that 500 calorie deficit. And being that 500 calorie deficit is the prescribed eat less, move more formula for weight loss, I find it ironic that that is the exact amount of fucking calories that your metabolism can shift. On a ketogenic diet, you can ramp up your metabolism. If you overeat by 500 calories, your metabolism will start to climb. That's an energy balance system. That's why you don't have to count calories on the Atkins or any carnivore or ketogenic diet, because your hormones are doing the fucking job for you. And guess what? If you overeat, they're going to ramp up. It's not a fucking quick thing. You might gain a pound or two before it happens, But you'll find that you'll plateau going back up. Current case in point. I don't monitor what I eat, and sometimes I feel like I eat a shit ton. And I'm not going up. I might go up 1 or 2 pounds for a few days, and then it drops back down. My metabolism's doing its job. And my metabolism set point is right where it's at for the past month. And you got to be patient. You know, this is kind of like a coaching video for people who are having a hard time, who are getting frustrated. And I see a lot of it. I see it in my comments too sometimes. Most people are generally happy with the other health benefits, but there's a large community out there that could give a fuck about health benefits that just want to look good. Not a good recipe for a good life, but hey, if that's your goal, I'm here to explain to you why it's not going to happen in the time frame that you think on a ketogenic diet, and that if that's your only goal, well, then you're going to do some serious fasting, or you're going to do some serious gym time to continue to maintain an unrealistic body fat level below your set point. And that set point is different for all of us. And we spend our life raising that set point. Because when you sit there and you pile that fucking processed foods and that shitty ass carbs and sugar and the grains and all the things that are poisoning us into our bodies, you're raising that set point. You're setting the bar so much higher. And your body's going to think that's where it needs to be from now on. And you're going to spend inordinate amounts of time trying to lower it again. And it's not a quick process. There are ways to lose weight quickly. You could do a 44-day fast, and I'm pretty sure you'll lose every ounce of fucking body fat in that time. And then you'll start eating again. And it might take a year, it might take a few weeks, depending on what kind of diet you're on. But slowly, that weight will creep back up to your set point. Question is, did you lower it in the process? And that question, the answer to that question is different for all of us. What the fuck do I know? I'm not a fucking expert. I'm just a fucking asshole. Please like and subscribe for more motherfucking videos, and I'll make more. Also, if you found this video helpful, entertaining, or enlightening in some fucking strange, weird way, you can go to ScottTheTruckDriver.com. Leave a couple bucks in the tip jar, or you can go to Patreon/ScottTheTruckDriver. Links to all this shit's in the description, and become a contributor to the channel. That allows me to make money doing this. Therefore, I do not have to do other things. Now, that being said, you may have noticed a decline in the amount of videos. I did put out a few extra last week, but you'll notice this week not so much. I'm having a down revenue month. So my ad revenue's way down, my contributions are way down, so I have to go out and do my other gigs for money, which does not allot a lot of time for research and videos. So I'm just letting you know that while I don't, you know, I react to that. If I get a lot of contributions, I do more videos. If I don't get a lot of contributions, I do less. It's not a punishment. It's just a fact of survival. It's what I have to do. I will always make videos in my spare time, whenever possible. But right now, my financial demands have been high. You know, I just had some website bills. I just had a lot of things, and my income's been low from YouTube. So I've had to spend time in other areas, in other endeavors, other photography, filming projects, and of course, Uber. So those are the things I'm doing to survive, and I have to do those. I'm not happy about some of them. You know, I like doing photo shoots. I like, you know, the creative ones, and I like doing video work, but ultimately, I'd rather be here making videos for you guys, or out traveling making videos is another goal. But got to pay the bills, got to build money for that too. I do want to do more travel and road videos. So that's, you know, I just wanted y'all to realize what was going on and why I was, you know, there was a few days with no content here. I had work through the weekend. I took Monday off straight up and started doing research yesterday for videos. And now today I'm putting my videos together. So that's what's going on with that. There is another video that will be coming that I'll be making tomorrow to address the alcohol thing, as controversial as that is. I do have a lot to say on that subject. That'll be a whole video in and of itself. But like I said, I was seeing all of this shit on my news feed from Keto, and I think we just needed to have a talk in case we forgot some shit, and quit being in a fucking hurry. You know, I cringe when I read those. I've been on it for 3 weeks. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit? You know, and the whining. You know, I've been on it for years now. And, you know, 2 years, which is kind of not a lot to get where I'm at. But be patient. You didn't get the way you were overnight. It took you a lifetime of being stupid. Now that you've woken up and you realize you have to do something, and that the shit that we've been told to do isn't working, and you're looking for something better, welcome. But it ain't gonna happen overnight. Have a nice motherfucking day. And shit. More shit. Oh, by the way, I got my new green screen set up and stuff, so, you know, I got it set up in a different way, so hopefully it's a little bit better than it was. Not that you guys even give a shit about that.